You mentioned the Data Analytics Academy, which I think you did 2 years ago, and you mentioned that it's going to happen again. Is that that's not for school leavers then? Is that for those who are looking maybe changing careers?
That's for those that want to transition, that have perhaps made a wrong career choice. One of the areas we're really interested in, and there's a lot of individuals that have made the wrong career choice that have ended up in roles that they don't enjoy, or they've ended up with really good degrees, but there's no roles in those degrees, and helping them reposition by using the data analytics and higher level apprenticeship route is key. And that particular program wasn't NIE alone. That was a number of employers coming together with the local colleges saying, we have a need for data analytics. Can you run a program? And so this was a joint program. And I think more of that collaboration is needed as well.
Yeah.
And data analytics is one area, but there are many other roles where people can transition at whatever stage they're at in their career. We have individuals who have had very successful careers joining us and going out there and meter reading for us at the front line, really enjoying the customer interaction and really being very good in that space, because aligning with the fact that, lots of people maybe on their own, they're in a home and they don't see too many people during the day. And you've got now these experienced people arriving to read their meter, but also taking time to have a chat and find out how they are, and really providing a service to society much broader than reading a meter.
Yeah.
But that's individuals that potentially have had a very stressful job and they want to reskill, and they want to reskill into an area where they can not have to worry about anything else other than the job they do and serving the customer.
Yeah, I can testify to having personal experience of that. I had one of your meter readers come to the house and he loved his job. I think he was in a very technical, stressful job before that. And he just loves people, and it really shone through. And he was very keen to show me his badge to make sure I knew he was an official NIE employee as well. So the training is fantastic there. You mentioned about the likes of the smart grid and the electric. We've got electric vehicles now, and we've had wind turbines for a long time. How does that change the types of skills that you need within NIE, Gordon? What's that transition look like?
Well, I mentioned meter reading recently there, and one of your last questions. But if you think of smart metering being implemented, and we're on a progression path towards that, and that means meters will no longer need to be read, but those meters will still need to be serviced. We'll still need to check them. So the skills will be different. It'll no longer be purely someone that's reading the meter. They'll be out there to do a complete service check on the meter to make sure it's operating appropriately and effectively, and ensuring that customers are getting the best value of a smart meter, which will allow customers to regulate when they use electricity and pick the cheapest times when they charge their car, for example. There's certain windows when it's cheaper to charge your car. Smart meter will provide all of that information. So that technology is changing. We need to have our people trained first to install them, and then secondly to maintain them. So the jobs of meter readers will reduce and will disappear, but the smart meter technicians will take over.
Yeah, great. And in those years that you've been working, 25 years at NIE and maybe even years previous to that, what have you learned about making these very technical careers feel prestigious to young people, parents, schools? You mentioned that the value of your apprenticeship program, it's attractive to people. What are some of those things that others could learn from about making those technical careers feel really prestigious?
The key to making any role attractive to anyone is to have good role models, people that can present something that's inspiring to somebody that's maybe lost their way, doesn't know where they want to go in their career, and then they hear a story from someone. So storytelling from role models is key. And if you've got people doing that in the right way, then you can attract people into your sector. And we've learned that in recent years. That's not something we've always done. It used to be, for example, part of my role would be to go into schools and talk to young people, but I'm the wrong person to do that. The right person to do that is a role model who's a young apprentice who's maybe just not out of their time, loving what they do. They're standing there in all the gear. They're enthusiastic about it, and they're saying how wonderful it is. That's what sells the role. Inspirational stories.